everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back what we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the air, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back what we done. I'll give it back what we done. Sit down and hands in the air. Have you ever seen work 9 to 5 or 5 to 9? Do you ever dream? They in the red, but my stalk is green. Proud like I reached the clouds, all off a beam. Dreams on lucid, films on Lucas, sound on surround, in the crowd on stupid. Who that chick Dion? That's Dion on clueless. You circling around the money, sitting in a Cupid car. Feel the dreams, they said I'm too corny. Funny, I got the ears all on me. Fears all gone and my fears all wrong. So keep your 2 cents in every phrase y'all coining. That's just common sense, all the hating, I honor it. I don't leak, I quantum it. I don't answer, I problem it. I just drop shit while they asking what a colonic is. Thinking, you know what I'm pondering? Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the head, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back what we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while I'm in the head, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, give it back what we done. I'll give it back what we done.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. Man, I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling good. You see, I got my 7 on today, right? And I know a lot of people saying, Tuck, why do you have your Cowboys jersey on? The Cowboys are not playing tonight. It's the Chargers versus. I don't care. I do not care. Whatever, it's a football game. I feel like repping my team, and damn it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to rep my team to the fullest, man. So we got a lot to talk about. Brian Schottenheimer had an interview. We also had some practice, some padded practice. So a lot of good takeaways. But today's guest, y'all, is extremely important, man. And he's not a guest. He's really a brother. And back when I first started this channel and I was pretty much a nobody, I really had no idea what the hell I was doing, where this was going to go. I didn't even know that what I was starting and building would get to what you guys see today. Like, this was not the plan. And I still remember I was doing a live show, all clunky. Nobody was watching the show but my children upstairs just to make sure it was even live. It was only like 3 people, 4 people watching. And this guy commented in the chat and was like, hey, man, I love your content. I would love to work with you. And from then it was just like, well, like my kids, you know, who were little bitties back then, now they're damn near in college, right? Was so excited. Like, yo, dad has someone in the chat and they want him on their show. And we were so excited, man. And I joined his show a few times. We did incredible work together and we developed this brotherhood, this friendship, and this bond. And, you know, life kind of happens and he had to kind of do some other things and handle life first, which we all understand and respect as men. But I reached out to my brother the other day. I was like, yo, bro, I know you haven't had a channel in a while. I know you haven't had content in a while, but I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this. I have to go out the way that I came in. I need you on my show. And he was so kind to give us his time to join us. So CFO gang, let's give a warm welcome to my brother from Canada. It's your boy, Sid. What's going on, dog? Welcome back, man.
Yo, what's up, man? Yo, Jay, you're making me blush, man. But all due respect and love, man. We started this. I remember you're right. I think I had like maybe 100 followers.
Right.
And we used to like get it, man. 3 hours. I remember we did 6 hours live stream. Right. We used to like get it in, man. But I appreciate what you said. Life happens. But I will be making my comeback. But I just heard you say something that I don't like. What do you mean you have to go out the way you came in? I know you ain't going nowhere.
Man. This might be the last year for me, man. I'm contemplating retirement, because I got some other things going on. So we'll see. It feels like Cowboys Nation is not going to let me leave, man. But, I think that this probably will be my last year, more than likely. I'm like 95%. there,
Oh
but
man.
we'll see what the future holds, man. But I'm extremely thankful for you, my guy, from believing in me from the jump. Who would have thought, bro, when we was doing those 6-hour shows, 7-hour shows, talking to probably 5 people, 8 people at the time, like we would grow to this and all the things I've been able to accomplish, coming off my 3rd Super Bowl, NFL draft, like you name it, that was not the plan, man. But I am extremely thankful for you from believing in me from the start and encouraging me to keep going. And like I said, if I go to the top, bro, you damn right I'm bringing you up here with me, whether you want to or not, dog. So.
Listen, like I said, you strived, you continue doing what you're doing. I'm starting to make my comeback. I hope I'm going to be where you're at one day. But a lot of people don't realize, man, content creators takes time.
It
It
does.
takes time and it takes part of our lives. Content creator guys that are just starting out, be ready, man. If you want to be successful at this, be ready to commit your time to this because it's not something that you could do once a day. We used to do like 3, 4. Look at you now. You're doing like pretty much every day. So this
Right.
is things that you have to be ready for. And that's why I had to take a step back because of the fact that life came first, man.
Right. Exactly. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, Sid. Some of us make it look easy and looks fun, but there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. I mean, huge shout out to my wife. I had the conversation, she has to be in my corner to share me with the world because right now, starting tonight at 7:00, soon as the Lions and Chargers kick, I'm in front of a TV. I'm doing film breakdown. I'm doing shows. My whole week next week is already jam packed. And so she has to be able to share that with me. But, I really enjoy it. And she enjoys me doing what I enjoy. But it's a sacrifice. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's not just turning on the camera and talking Cowboys football. There's a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice that goes into this. If, Sid, you want to do things the right way, if you want to do the things the right way, you know what I'm saying? So definitely understand my guy. But like I said, we're bringing you back. If I got to drag you out, we're going to bring you out, man. And we're definitely going to give Cowboys Nation that flavor that we started and built when we started that foundation. Now, things have changed since you've been gone. See, your guy D-Law is gone. I know you was the number one D-Law. D-Law is gone in Seattle, man. You know what I'm saying? So because my dog said he couldn't stand D-Law, right? So D-Law was finally gone. But there has been some changes, because crazy to think about it, Sid. We came in Mike McCarthy's first year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when we first started. But overall, as we pivoted through the course of the season to where we currently stand this offseason, how was you feeling at the end of the season to how we are today at the end of July?
Listen, last year was a rough year. We all know this. We all know the defense was trying to hold it down. Our offense just couldn't get it together. A lot has changed going in. Listen, there's a lot of good things going into the season. And I watch your show and I watch, I still watch what you guys do. And big shout out to Cowboy Fan Talk. He's talking about culture. But this is something.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm going to pause you. Like Sid is almost like the Will McClay of the content space because not only did he find me, he really found Rome too as well. You know what I'm saying? So like you should be like a content GM. You got a nose of the talent, man. So this is my dog Rome.
Yeah, big shout out to Rome, man. And Rome every year, and I know you know this. And Rome, if you're watching, the other day I was like screaming at the camera, "Stop talking about culture!" And we talk about it every year. Every year it's the same thing. We have to have culture and a culture change in this. And then we start off in a good rhythm and then something happens. We always lose our rhythm at some point. And I just want that to change this year. That has to be a good change, a big change. I like what the new coach is doing. I always mash up his name. So Brian Schumacher.
We just call him Shoddy, man. You know what I'm saying? We call him Shoddy because we're not spelling all that. No, we call him Shoddy, man. So Brian Schottenheimer did, but yeah,
Schottenheimer, yeah. I like what he's doing so far. I know he's trying to make sure that the players are doing their jobs, and I think he's trying to implement changes. I like the changes that are happening, but I'm wondering, are all these changes happening so quick? And it's hard for the team to start adapting to all these changes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the reason why, even though we made some moves, right, George Pickens being the main one, right, it created a lot of excitement, But after excitement, Sid, there is some uncertainty, right? Brand new head coach who's never coached before, a day in his life, right? What is it going to be like? You bring in some college guys, even though they were good at the college level. Will that translate to the NFL level? Your third defensive staff in 3 years. So how is that going to impact the defense? Like, you had some turnover. But I think when you think of the foundation of the Dallas Cowboys, and when I think the foundation, it is Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, who was unsigned, Tyler Smith, Osa Odigizua. You have those blueprint cornerstone pieces. It's just going to be, how do we develop and build around it, which remains to be unseen. So overall, as far as your confidence level, scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now at the end of July that the Dallas Cowboys will be Super Bowl contenders? Because I'm not cool with a divisional. I'm not just trying to win the division, the NFC East, or beat Philly. I want Super Bowl. So where do you feel we are on that scale of 1 to 10?
You want my honest opinion?
Honestly, bro. Now, here's the thing, Sid. When we first started, I could say whatever I want. Nobody cared. But nowadays, bro, if I say one thing wrong, it's clipped, it's blipped, it's 30,000, 40,000 views, right? We speak honest, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's something we always started. What was the show called? Speak Your Mind all the time.
All the time.
Your mind, bro. Speak your mind.
It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back, man. Listen,
yeah, bro. Speak your mind.
Am I confident? No, not yet.
Right.
I want to see what week 1's going to do. I think our biggest challenge going into the season is week 1. The Eagles is going to be, I'm not saying that, oh my God, if we lose terribly, that's going to be our season. But I want to see what we're going to be able to do against the Eagles. That's going to be the first step. Once we get past that, week 2, week 3, see what momentum we have. Because I think our second and third game are pretty simple. So let's see what's gonna happen. But I can't say that because a lot of teams last year that I was like, man, we spanking that ass,
right?
And then we get our asses handed to us, and I was like, what did I miss?
Right.
What did I miss?
Exactly.
So, but I do like what the new coach is bringing. The free snap, the motion, the tempo. He is saying that he's gonna run first. We're gonna be more of a running team than we were a passing team. Last year, Dak threw 637 passes last year.
Yeah,
that's a lot of passes, bro.
And only played half a season.
you get what I'm saying? Like, so I do see the changes. I like what he's trying to say that he's gonna bring, but I want to see what's gonna happen week 1. So am I confident right now? If I out of 1 to 10, I would say a 5, but I'm hoping more into the season that could go up to like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was kind of more at a 5, before we made the George Pickens transaction and got the trade. Now I'm kind of like a 6 or a 7. But like you said, Sid, we have a lot of hurdles to climb. And I think that the ultimate test for me is not win or lose, right, versus Philly, because it's still going to be a tough game, I believe. And now, of course, anytime we play the Eagles, we want to win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we want that done.
Naturally. But what I'm looking for, Sid, this season is, can the Dallas Cowboys punch in their own weight class? Pick on someone their own size. It's cool when we beat up on the Giants, and sometimes we beat up on these smaller teams like the Patriots. But when you are going on the road, Super Bowl champs, opening night, NFL season, the whole world is watching. Who are you, right? And I feel like this is an opportunity for Brian Schottenheimer to go out there, not only set a tone for his team, but also for himself as a head coach. Like, hey, bro, I belong here as well. But if you get blown out the building, there's going to be some tough conversations what to sit back and see. So you mentioned something that really stood out to me. I think this is what got me excited today, because CeeDee Lamb did an interview on it. Brian Schottenheimer did an interview kind of speaking about it. The tempo, the tonality, the motions, the speed when it comes to this offense got me really excited. Now, of course, it has to translate on Sundays because don't be no camp warriors, right? But I feel like the offense is going to be more modern. CeeDee Lamb spoken about, hey, we're pretty much motioning every play. We're, so these were some of the things that we asked for from Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy says, bro, I'm doing things my way,
Yeah.
I feel like Brian Schottenheimer and this new offensive staff is starting to implement that. So when you look at this offense outside of George Pickens was a given, what gets you excited the most, Sid, when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer and the new regime?
Listen, what gets me excited is honestly the run. Last year we had no running game, but again, are we going to have a running game this year? That's the thing, right? We got
Right.
Miles Sanders. We got a few rookies out there. I'm excited to see what some of these rookies are gonna do. There's a new kid that I was looking at him, Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
I'd like to see what he can do. I watched some of his tape. He's explosive, man. You
Yeah.
know, I want to see what he's gonna be able to bring to the table. But I also want to see my boy Vaughn, man.
Yeah.
Vaughn is doing some. I see him. I see what he's doing. He's quick. He's agile. He's finding the holes. I want to see what he's going to be able to do this year. But the biggest thing for me to this year going into the season, I want to see our running game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what we've all are waiting to see, right? Because that's what we've been sold all offseason from the moment that Brian Schottenheimer was signed and stepped to the podium. It was run game, run game, run game. Then you bring in Clayton Adams, run game. Connor Riley from Kansas State, run game. So all these coaches have been talking about it, Sid. Now, here's my concern with that. I know you mentioned some of the running backs from Deuce to Javonte to Miles to Jaydon Blue. Who is really going to take the reins? And Brian Schottenheimer kind of spoke about it like, hey, that's old, outdated language with workhorse back or RB1. But if I say who's the RB1 in Philly, you know who it is. If I say who's the RB1 in Baltimore, you know who it is. If I say who's the RB1 in Green, like, you know who these guys are. For us,
100%.
I feel like it's open competition because honestly, anybody in the chat can make an argument for 4 to 5 running backs. Like if you say, you know what, I feel like Deuce Vaughn should be our RB1, I feel like, hey, you could make an argument, you know? So I think that's going to be the interesting point for us all to sit back and see is, okay, just like Justin is saying, who takes it, right? I don't want the running back role to be a given. I feel like last year it was kind of given a little bit because, I mean, of course, Zeke's return, you had Rico, but I wanted to be like, Javonte is clearly RB1. I've made videos about it. It's undeniable. I want someone to take it. And as of right now, I say it's open competition. So for me, preseason Cowboys Nation, I didn't see them all out there. You know, I want to see, I want to see old Miles out there, to Javonte, to Deuce, to Jaydon, to Phil Maffa, to even Hunter Lupke. I want to see everybody out there in preseason, and I want to see who is going to take this RB1 position. I don't want to see it kind of given. But you mentioned Jaydon Blue. And Jaydon Blue said, like, because you're an old school Cowboys fan, and there's been some people kind of compare him to Tony Dorsett. I'm like, whoa.
No.
You know, but I do see the excitement. So you mentioned kind of Jaydon Blue. Besides the explosiveness, do you think that Jaydon Blue could be a guy that ultimately takes on that RB1 position this year, or would it be something that's futuristic?
I'd see futuristic. You know what? Like I said, I see a lot of explosiveness. He's eager. He wants to go out there, but I don't think he'll be our RB1 this year. I don't. You know what? And I'm gonna go a little bit back here, and I apologize to you guys, but I was mad. I was mad in the draft that we didn't go after a running back.
You and me both.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like what were we thinking? I'm like, why are we not going after a running back, seeing how bad our running game was last year?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If you Dallas Cowboys, everybody says it. Oh, you guys are rebuilding. You've been rebuilding for 30 years. And blah 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 blah. You know, if we're actually that type of team and we want to be explosive, why didn't we go get a running back?
Yeah, and that was my question, right? Because like we've been hearing, like I said, from the start, running game, and there was a lot. Like this was probably one of the deepest running back classes in a long time. I feel like you could have got a workhorse back, and you could have got an additional back in a Jaydon Blue who could be your supplemental future guy, right? But when it comes to Jaydon Blue, just going off of what's done in Texas, now, of course, we can never predict the future for any of these kids, right? What's going to happen in the NFL level. Nope. But he wasn't the main guy. He was almost a third string change of pace back that got opportunity due to injuries. And yeah, he plays good in like the Clemson game or whatnot, but it wasn't on a consistent basis where you feel like, you know what, if I need 35 carries out of Jaydon Blue to get up out of here, I can give him the ball. He just hasn't shown that yet, but hopefully he can hit that switch because if there's any player, guys, that I feel like we need to take a massive leap, would be Jaydon Blue. If Jaydon Blue could become Tony Pollard-esque year one, that changes everything for this season. Do I think that can happen? Not late Tony Pollard, but it can kind of be like that early Tony Pollard, like they kind of spell Zeke a little bit. But we'll see. But if he turns into like a Bucky Irving type production or something of that nature, then this Cowboys team kind of goes from a 6 and 7 to maybe 8 and
9. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And you brought up Pollard. That was one thing I was really pissed off about. We could have anyways. I don't want to harp. I don't want to harp.
It's a conversation piece, Sig, because I was thinking how things would be in Dallas if the Cowboys would just re-sign Tony Pollard. Like I feel like we would have probably been in good standings, right? If you had Tony Pollard as your RB1 with Jaydon Blue, now we're talking a little bit scary.
We're talking about, yes.
So but I get it because they can't pay certain people. Coyote says, I think Jaydon Blue has the skill. He had a bunch of fumbling problems, but he looks like he can be good. I think that's the case, Coyote. It's like, yeah. From college, there's a lot of things to be worked on, right? But a lot of these prospects do have things that needs to be worked on. If Jaydon Blue can fix the fumbling, the pass pro, the consistency with the vision, hitting the gaps, right, and not just being a splash gadget player, because as a wide receiver, the kid's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely catch the ball, right? But I feel like if he can fix some of those things, the Dallas Cowboys might hit another home run, and we can definitely use him as a home run hitter because we definitely need some of those guys. Now, speaking of home run hitters, right? This is a conversation, Cowboys Nation, that's heating up, and I'm getting excited about it because I'm seeing speed. And what I feel like Kevontae Turpin has taken over the wide receiver 3 role, which I wanted, right? And then we're going to have a strong conversation, Cowboys Nation, about Jonathan Mingo being wide receiver 4, right? So we're going to keep our eyes on it. But overall, how are you feeling about this wide receiver core, which I'm starting to feel is a much stronger unit than a lot of people are giving it credit for?
Listen, I think that how things are falling into place right now is exciting. For the first time in last year, we had 2 receivers.
We had one in a quarter.
One in a quarter, yeah. Now we're talking about maybe having 3 solid receivers and alleviating the pressure from CeeDee Lamb and from Pickens. And now you're bringing Turpin into the mix.
Right.
I saw Turpin a few times last year. He made a few key plays, and I said, this guy has wide receiver potential.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what's going on into the season. If this is the 4 core that we're looking at, I think that we could definitely go out there and do some damage.
And see, this is where my gears start to turn, Sid. You have George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson.
I was about to say, don't forget Ferguson.
Man, scrap that run game, bro. Scrap that run game, bro. That is where I'm at with this. Like, it's just too explosive not to, cause I feel like Kevontae Turpin, because a lot of people don't understand Kevontae Turpin. He was a dynamic wide receiver at TCU. He also played quarterback, wink, wink, for those of you talking about the Wildcat, and Shadi mentioned the Wildcat. So he played a little quarterback. He threw some touchdowns in TCU as well. So it's like you have that guy. Those are the guys I want the ball in their hands, Sid, versus
I hate to be the devil. I'm playing devil's advocate right now.
Go ahead, play it.
All right, I'm playing devil's advocate. Receiving core, amazing. Do we think that we have the offensive line to be able to give Dak that time that he needs to be able to throw the ball as much as you want? Because you're saying, forget the running game. Is that
I'm not saying completely abandon the running game.
No, but you're saying that you being the wide receiver core, you probably want to see Dak throwing the ball more than running the ball. My worry is our offensive line going into the season.
So what particular position of the offensive line worries you the most? Let's start there. I guess I give you left tackle. I think we're all kind of having questions about left tackle, right? But outside of that, where's your question? The blind side, the most important piece, right?
The blind side.
Right.
Obviously, that's the most. I'm worried And if Dak isn't able to throw the ball, do we want Dak running? That's a question.
I'm not sure if y'all saw it, Cowboys Nation. There was a clip today of Dak taking off and running. I don't know what the hell was it, a dog out there on the field. Let's see if I can find that clip, man. But Dak took off and run. So we gonna sit back here and judge. So, but yeah, I do.
Okay, but last week when you guys were on the chat, I kept writing, guys, do we want Dak running the ball? Do we want Dak running the ball? Do it, and nobody responded. Do you want to see Dak running the ball this year? Are you guys confident enough to say, okay, Dak, if Dak doesn't see it, hopefully he'll run it?
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he has to pick his spots, you know. But hold on, let me do this. You know what I'm saying? Let's
I want to see it. I want to see this clip.
Let's see here. All right, hold on. Let me get this clip ready for you. Bang. All right. This is Dak, man. Stop hating on old man Dak. All right. There we go. Look at Dak, man. Look at Dak. Look at Dak. Dak being 30 plus, his body probably sore. You can tell right here, Sid, when he turned this corner.
The corner.
Right here. Right there. Huh? He don't have the ball in his hand, though. I don't think Dak has the ball. He ain't got the ball.
Nope.
Dak just wanted to put it on film.
Okay.
So, of course, the Cowboys Nation, if we're going to do a read option and Dak is going to pull it, right? Teams ain't gonna probably worry about this till Dak shows that he can. So maybe want to put that on film. Get up, Dak. All right.
So I was just wondering. It's just a question. Are we confident enough for Dak to run the ball? I don't
want to risk it because I kind of. Suits Clarence Hill, I kind of was saying, hey, bro, Dak, run the ball, bro. Like, why you just standing back in the pocket being a standing duck all the time? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just move, run out the pocket. Clarence asked him, hey, man, why don't you run in the pocket anymore? You know, like, can you not run or can you not move? Dak says, yes, I can. Dak takes out for run versus Atlanta and tears his hamstring off the bone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Sid. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I do not know. Last year, I was kind of pressing Dak to run the ball a little bit more because there were so many opportunities.
There was. And
move the chains and get down. Move the chains and get down for Dak. But that, I don't think you're gonna see Dak take off for a 70-yard touchdown run. You know what I'm saying?
But you think the reason why Dak? I'm like you. I saw so many opportunities. I'm like, run the damn ball. But do you think it's because he's overthinking?
There was conversations like tell like it is just that Jerry told Dak not to run. Jerry had said he told Dak not to run, right? But sometimes when you have to win games, bro, like you gotta take off, especially when your offensive line was struggling a little bit, especially earlier on. So do I think that you'll see Dak running the ball? No, he'll run when necessary, right? I think it'll be more of that. But going back to your original statement about passing the ball in the offensive line, I feel like Dak, even if it's Tyler Gayton that a lot of people are concerned about, this is, address the elephant in the room, right? At left tackle. I feel like Tyler Gayton at left tackle is serviceable, but also I know that Dak is more than enough savvy enough that he can feel outside pressure and step up in the pocket, right? I feel like where Dak really gets rattled is interior pressure collapsing where he can't step up and he has to flush outside the pocket. So if you're able to have this new interior with Cooper Beebe's looking incredible this far, Tyler Booker, the rookie, we're all excited about, and you also have Tyler Smith. If you keep that clean interior pocket, I'm okay with Dak being able to pass, right? Because you can make these edge rushers run the hoop and kind of bend out wide. So for me, I'm just feeling like If we are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles twice, the Commanders, even though there's some issues going on right now in Washington, right? Those caliber of teams, it's going to have to be with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, and the others that I mentioned versus the running backs. I am letting the pass set up the run versus what I think a lot of people are thinking the run's going to set the pass. Completely opposite.
Yep. Okay. With Tyler Gayton gone, how do you feel about Nate Thomas stepping up?
Yeah, well, I think Nate Thomas has an opportunity, right? Because I remember a few years ago, we were kind of in this situation and Lyle Collins went down and we were kind of nervous about Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele stepped up, played well, went against Joey Bosa, played well, ultimately ended up earning a contract in a starting job. With Nate Thomas, I feel like it's that same type of scenario. I did not know until I see it. Brian Schottenheimer spoke about him, some of the reps that he had. They're confident that he can step in and fill that void, but you're asking an unproven to really step up. This is why Dak Prescott probably got on the phone today and say, yo, my best friend and Lyle Collins, bring him in for a tryout, right? And Lyle's been working out with Big Duke. And so maybe this reunion with Lyle could spark something. But as of right now, if Tyler Gayton cannot go, let's say the first 3 to 4 weeks, instead of me leaning on a Nate Thomas or an Austin Richards, I'd rather go get a solid insurance plan with a veteran guy, but not only just for Nate Thomas and Austin Richards, also for Tyler Gayton, to be honest with you.
Okay, but you know what? Okay, so the Tyler Gayton situation obviously scared everybody, and now they're saying that he may potentially be ready for week 1. I hope not. Don't push it. Let's not rush it. I don't want to rush him back. Mm-hmm. Let him rest up. I'd rather him come back week 3, maybe week 4. Okay. Mm-hmm. As for the Nate Thomas situation, I actually went and checked out his stats from college. I'm not a big college guy. You are. Mm-hmm. And he has some pretty impressive stats. You know what I mean? Like mm-hmm. he became a starter within 3 years of his college career. Mm-hmm. Right? Right. He had 25 knockdowns, 80% out of that out of 11 of 13 games. To me, mm-hmm. that's a big. He has potential, like you said. Steele stepped up. Let's see if Nate Thomas can do that. And from what I'm seeing, in everybody, everybody's coming out, the media and everything talking about him. It seems like maybe he's going to be ready to be able to step up and take that position until Gayton comes back.
The better he steps up, the better it helps the Cowboys, because I feel like right now the Dallas Cowboys have a brand new iPhone. I'm saying the brand is all, but they're walking around with the brand new iPhone and Tyler Gayton, and they don't have a case on it. So if something goes wrong with Tyler Gayton, who is the backup plan? Who is that protection? Then it's like, okay, it could be Nate Thomas. It could be Austin Richards, Matt Beletsko, who was our Amari Cooper trade. List goes on and on, right? Why not just go put a case on your phone just in case you drop it, right? And that's where I'm at when it comes to the Cowboys. And I feel like that was the biggest disservice they did to Tyler Gayton last year by not having a veteran guy that was behind him. Now, I got this question on also Instagram. So everyone on Instagram said Tony Pollard did the same numbers with a better O-line in Tennessee as Rico did with Cowboys line for tons of less money with Rico. Yeah, but I felt like the difference between Tony Pollard and Rico, Tony Pollard's a threat. Yeah. I feel like Tony Pollard is a guy that you have to circle week by week. No knock to Rico. He did the best he could. I don't think he was a guy that teams were circling saying, we have to stop Rico Dowdle. I feel like they felt like if they stopped CeeDee Lamb and Rico beat them, then so be it, right? I want a guy that defensive coordinators have to circle, because that's only going to help Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens versus, hey, we're going to take away the passing game and let them run. If they run on us, then so be it. But Javonte, I want a guy that kind of makes defensive coordinators sit up in the chair. And as of right now, we don't have that guy.
We don't have that.
Maybe it could be my collection or someone steps up, right? So
yeah, we definitely.
I like Zeke, returning. I mean, hell, pick your poison, CeeDee Lamb or Zeke? Who would you rather, you try to stop? CeeDee Lamb, right? You know what I'm saying? So it was just simple mathematics last year. That's what I want to get rid of, because that's what makes Philly who they are. even if I want to say, you know what, I'm going to take AJ Brown and Devontae Smith out of this game with our secondary, you still have to circle Saquon. So if you circle Saquon, then you have to worry about AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. So it's like, I don't understand some Cowboys fans. I'm not saying this is you, JR, but it's like, why do we have to settle for just okay? Why can't we go get the best of the best too? You know, like why can't, you know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at with it. So, but overall, as far as this offense, before we go to the defense, what is your confidence level of this offense under this new regime of Brian Schottenheimer as we transition from Mike McCarthy and now Dak Prescott, who's rejuvenated, running for 65-yard touchdowns with no ball in his hand?
Listen, I'm excited for our offense this year, man. I got excited when we got Pickens because I knew he's a deep threat. I like the fact that CD right now and Pickens are like they're meshing really well, man.
Right.
They really are. They're both. Nobody's going out there saying I'm the number one receiver. They're going out there and saying, hey, we got a job to do. Let's go out there and get that Super Bowl. So I'm confident and I'm really excited. Dak looks good, rejuvenated. Everybody seems rejuvenated. But and I know we're gonna bring this up a little bit later. The only thing that's bothered me right now is all the fighting that's going on.
Right? Yeah, I'm not too bothered by it, but you said a word that really someone should have been saying this, right? We've been hearing culture, that C word. I feel like rejuvenated should be the word that's kind of been tossed around when it comes to Cowboys. And this is why I brought Sid back, because he brings up shit like rejuvenated that we should have been saying this entire time. I feel like when you watch these Cowboys players out there at practice or online and Twitter or wherever, it's just something different as far as excitement, right? And I feel like going from the prior season 2023 to last year, I feel like even though they kind of felt like they were okay, I really think the Cowboys team got their spirit broke by that Green Bay loss. And what happened was we went out there, we beat Cleveland, and so we just put makeup over our bruises. And then week 2, the Saints said, nah, bro, you are still broken and fragile. And they wiped all that makeup off and showed all the black swollen eyes. I feel like now we can finally move past the swelling of the Green Bay loss, of everything kind of happened. New regime, new slate, new energy, new staff. Dak is back. George Pickens, Kavontae Turpin used as a wide receiver. There should be some rejuvenation when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys team. Now, hopefully, Philly don't lump us up, you know what I'm saying? But you should be excited right now if you're a Cowboys player, and it sounds like that's exactly what the theme seems to be in Dallas. Now, the fighting. So you say you don't like the fighting. What was your problem with the fight? You know what I'm saying? You know me. I don't mind a few scraps.
Listen, obviously there's a lot of egos out there. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to egos, and that's why all this fighting's happening. Let's not fighting amongst each other. We have a lot of fighting to do on the field, right? And I just don't think that it's something that's needed right now. Like you said something that's very important. Clean slate, bro. Clean slate, right? So let's go out there and let's act professionally. Let's go out there, let's do our jobs, and let's focus on what we need to do as a team.
Yeah, I can see that. And I don't think it's a fight where it's like it spills over in the locker room. I don't think that's the type of fights that are going on.
No.
I just think it's just grown man. Because here's the thing, Sid, and I said what's funny about the fights yesterday, right? In particular, they came out, they had coaches in boxing gloves and Rocky robes, and they were talking about today we're gonna fight. So then the players start fighting. It's like, whoa, we're not gonna mean fighting like that, right? They mean fighting in between the whistle. But I'll tell you guys, man, it's like, yeah, just like I said, fighting has never really hurt nobody. It happens. You gotta think these guys are locked up in Oxnard, right? Can't really do much in Oxnard. Oxnard's a cool city, but it's not. It doesn't really do.
Yeah.
So you're getting to the point of camp where you're tired of seeing the same people every day. I'm tired of hearing your voice. You're going against practice, going against the same person. Like, you just need to kind of just get that out, right? So, like, fighting happens in football. I'm not too concerned about it. Honestly, I like it because I felt like the one thing the Cowboys need to set the tone is that we are not soft. Now, of course, you can't be punching people out there on the field, right? But there's going to be situations that you might have to, right? In a situation I talk about, especially when it comes to Lyle Collins. I remember, I forgot what game it was, that somebody, wasn't in Washington, but someone did a late hit on Dak on the sidelines, right? And I remember there was a bunch of Cowboys players just sitting around like, bro, like he literally late hit
hell no.
hurt the
Yeah.
quarterback. It was Zeke and Lyle Collins that was ready to throw a punch, right? You need those guys out there, a few, to show, hey, it ain't going down like this, right? 49ers, we can play all the games that we want when it comes to San Francisco and do all these things when it comes to San Francisco. But you know, when it comes to Trent Williams, you better be on your best behavior because he's a dog, right? So it's just like, I get it. You got to be smart with it, but I'm not too concerned about it because I've never seen a situation where it's like, man, we would have won that game if players weren't out there fighting. It's actually been the opposite for Dallas Cowboys. And
I just don't think it needs to be every day, man. I just don't think,
not every day. Not every day.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's a time for it, and I get it, but not every day. It's just getting to be too much. We have enough media attention. We don't need more.
Facts. DMV, my dog. What's up, DMV, man? Salute to everybody, man. If you're watching the show, subscribe to the channel, like the content, share the content. Let everybody know we alive with my boy Sid. I brought him back, man. And we're not gonna let him disappear after this. We'll keep him coming. You know what I'm saying? So he think he gonna just do one show and vanish. Hell no.
You gotta get Cowboy fan talk on here, man. I gotta chew him out.
Oh yeah, Rome, man. I think Rome has something going on right now, but yeah, you know, Rome, man.
I have a few issues. I have a bone to pick with.
What's that?
No, just about how the culture thing and
the culture. That's been the buzzword, man.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that.
It's been culture, man. You know, it's feeling like the Commanders are kind of having their issues with their culture, right?
Oh, I know.
Now let's get over to the defensive side of the ball because I feel like, Sid, we're going through a transition, all right? I feel like for the few past years, give or take, defense was kind of our anchor, right? That was kind of the guys that were kind of holding things down.
Yep.
I feel like now it's kind of shifted a little bit where the confidence is now all back into the offense. And now Cowboys Nation is really questioning our defense and Matt Eberflus in this new scheme, especially when it comes to stopping the run. So overall, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, how are you feeling and what are your biggest concerns? Actually, what's your biggest positive? Start with positives first.
Positives?
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, baby.
Is he going to be signed?
Listen, positives. I think the defense, we need work. We needed work last year. The positives this year, I think I like what we're going to do with Michael Parsons. I think that the offensive is going to be like, where is he going this time? Where is he going to be coming from? You know, like they're going to be moving him around a lot, and I'm happy to see that. We're still talking about positives, right?
Yeah, positive. Yeah.
Well, I just want to see what Michael's going to do. I think right now we have a lot of issues, a lot of holes, and I think we're going to get into it. And that's why it's hard to be positive about our defense right now because I'm worried about our defense, to be honest with you, more than I was last year. Last year I was worried. This year I'm even more worried.
Right. Me too. Right. And you mentioned, I feel like there's more, right? There's more. One positive, Micah Parsons, if signed, right? I feel like if you can get him back signed early, so that way, you know what I'm saying?
You know what they're going to do again? They're going to do
right before kickoff, right before kickoff, Mike is going to run out there and Jerry's going to pull him to the side and say, we have a deal done, right?
Let's say what it is. Jerry Jones does this on purpose. This is all a media ploy. He wants to be the center of attention. I honestly believe it. I'm telling you, it's gonna get done. Everybody, no, you guys are gonna lose Parsons. No, we're not.
No, we're not gonna lose him. Nah, they'll make him miserable before we lose him. You know, they'll franchise tag him 2 or 3 times before they will lose him, right? But it's just like, it's not. We're not gonna lose him. They're gonna end up just playing hardball. But the problem, my concern is, third defensive coordinator in 3 years straight, right? We need Micah out there, right, with the team versus on the sideline. He was in Crocs today, right? I don't need Micah no Crocs, right? I need him out there with the team because he's going to be the energy. Now, Another positive, my dogs, you know what I'm saying, from the other side of the pond, watch out for Donovan Zikaraku. He's getting his name out there sooner rather than later. He is. Another positive. And here's Cowboys Nation is something that we have to keep our eyes on, right? And I don't know, people don't want to listen to Tuck, right? I was saying when Donovan Zikaraku was holding out because all these second round picks were trying to get this guaranteed money, I'm like, listen, bro, cool story, but right now you have Micah Parsons, who probably going to be a hold in, not a holdout, so he's not going to be participating in camp.
Mm-hmm.
There is a golden opportunity for you to get first team reps and early reps in preseason as a rookie. And if you can do what I know you can do, and what I saw in college, if you being one of the best defensive ends in college football, you can start a ripple effect. And I feel like he's done that. So it might be a situation, y'all, where things might be delayed with Micah because they're probably going to run out there with Donovan and get him a lot of reps to continuously get him ready just in case of emergency, right? So, but Donovan Zikaraku is a positive.
Do we think he can go out there and do as much damage as Michael can?
Not yet. Not yet. But I feel like projection, right? I feel like projection, right? So it might be a situation where Micah does play hardball. They might say, you know what, like we'd be all right, we'd be all right. And I feel like they're really going to start, because a lot of these players we drafted, Sid, it gives me that type of feel, right? Just with Donovan Zikaraku, we didn't need edges. We brought in Dante Fowler. We just got Marshawn Nealon last year's second round pick. We got Sam Williams returning, right? You have Micah Parsons still under contract. So edge was already full as it was. Yeah. I feel like the Cowboys sat back and said, well, hell, this kid just fell to us. And I mean, like I said, bro, he's dominant edge rusher. Could we turn him into something in case we have to get ugly with this Micah thing? Now, hopefully it doesn't get there, and also with the Siobhan Revel situation. I feel like they got Siobhan Revel, who was a first round talent, in the third round due to injuries. So I feel like now they can talk a little dirty to Trayvon Diggs because they kind of have someone who they think could be a backup plan, right? So I think that might be the case, but I think Mike is out there week one. I just don't see Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles opening night, and you have Micah Parsons
on the bench,
or just not signed, not out there. I just think it's just too hard not to do, right? So but we got some talent,
guys. The way I look at it, any other team but the Eagles, let's say it was the Giants week one, I could see Michael holding out. I could see it, but being they were going up against Super Bowl champions,
right? He got to be out there.
He got to be out there. He's got to be out there. There's no reason. There's no way he's not going to be out there against the Eagles. There's no way.
It does give him leverage to some standpoint, right? But I don't see Mikey the competitor missing this game. Not this one.
I don't see him missing any games, to be honest.
Yeah, not this one. Not this one. Now Emmitt Smith had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Chris Jones in Kansas City had to do it. But I just don't see Micah, not versus Philly, like not just getting your locker moved next to Dak. But here's the thing, Sid. Why do we have to have this conversation? Just give him his money. You're going to give him the money anyways. Just give it to him now. Now, speaking of the defensive side of the ball, the main conversation has been our defensive tackles, right? Mozzie Smith, you do a lot of personal training and weightlifting. My dog Sid be in the gym early too. They made him lose weight, then they made him gain it back. And then now they made him lose weight again, man. So Mozzie's been all over the place. And it feels like right now Mozzie just doesn't have a sponsor, meaning a coach that says, you know what, that is my guy. I'm going to make it work. So when it comes to stopping the run, how is your concerns when it comes to stopping the run? Because for me, I'm seeing red flags, Sid, but even though Eberflus does have a track record, what he's saying doesn't match what we have, so I just think that's part of the frustrations when it comes to Cowboys Nation.
Listen, we need our running game was atrocious last year. We gave up 331 yards last year. We were the worst in the NFL. We
Right.
got to we got to come out doing better this year.
Right.
So we know what we need to work on. We know we need to stop the run. And I just hope our defensive coach is making sure and working with these guys to say, hey, guys need to close those gaps.
Right.
Michael Parsons, you got to get in there, guys. We got to blitz when the time is to blitz.
Right.
We got. This is the work that needs to be done, and this is what we need to focus on. But you're right. He's saying that we need to do these things.
Right.
Do we have the pieces in place
To do it right.
to do these
Exactly.
things?
And that is my concern. Someone asked on Instagram, would you consider signing Christian Wilkins? I mean, I don't know. I'm desperate, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
if he has to tickle a few feet and kiss a few people on the forehead, hey, sometimes you got to take one for the team. If Christian Wilkins can come in here and help the Dallas Cowboys stop the run, hell, man, kiss me on the forehead, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So would I do it? Yes. Will the Cowboys do it? Nah, I think that's too. It's too. I think that's more supposed to be coming out to the story, and I think from a maturity level, what Shotty's trying to build by getting all these guys who are team leaders, team captains, and this and that, right? You can't just toss a grenade into the mix, and you don't even know what's up with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Why are you kissing players on the forehead and tickling the feet? Like, what is going on? Like, we got to have that conversation first before I can put you in the Dallas Cowboys spotlight. But he can stop the run, y'all. He's a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that part. But what the part that really baffles me about this whole situation during the draft, why don't we ever go out after anybody off season? There was but Jerry Jones is the richest man in the NFL, but the cheapest mofo on this earth. The cheapest. I don't understand why we do what we do. Why Jerry Jones does what he does. And you know what? I don't think Stephen Jones is going to do anything different.
He's not. So a lot of people say, "Oh, just wait till Jerry goes or whatever." It's going to be even worse. I mentioned this yesterday, I believe. The problem with Stephen Jones, he doesn't have the gift of gab, right? At least Jerry, if we don't have defensive tackles, he could say something that sells me. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. That's just Jerry. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be good. Like I can believe it for a little bit until Saquon goes for 180 and 4 touchdowns, and I'll be okay. Jerry lied to us, but Stephen doesn't possess that talent, that gift of gab, right? So it's gonna be, and I don't understand it either, Sid, because my biggest frustration when it comes to Dallas Cowboys has been this year after year after year. We all could sit back, right? When they brought in James Washington and all these wide receivers, they're trying to replace Amari Cooper. What do we all say? We don't have a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver. And we went through that season, and Dak led the league in interceptions, which was uncommon for him in his entire football career. Because you just didn't go get Dak a wide receiver. And then his last minute, now Cowboys Nation had me screaming for OBJ at a damn Mavericks game because we were so desperate last minute, right?
Yep.
And then last year, 2 years ago, right? We were all sitting back saying, hey, man, this Cowboys team, they're putting up 40. Deron Bland's getting all these pick sixes, breaking records. We just need a linebacker. We should go get a linebacker. If we just get a linebacker, we're gonna be. They didn't, and then we sit back and say, well, why did Green Bay run all over us? Because we had safeties playing linebackers because you didn't go get a linebacker. I hate the reactive mindset from the Cowboys versus the proactive. We can all see this red blinking light when it comes to defensive tackle, and what's going to happen is going to be week 5 when we get embarrassed or something. Then it's like, okay, who are some guys we can bring in?
Go get.
Now we're trying to salvage our season and kind of hold on. I hate that mindset, but it just is what it is, bro.
Are you worried about our corner situation?
That's another one, right? Corner. Trayvon Diggs, I don't think he's going to be week 1 ready. Savon Revel's dad was on 105 to the Fan, I believe. He says that more than likely he's not going to be 4 to 6 weeks. He's probably more 5 to 8 or even 6 to 9. So you kind of push that back. You have Kalen Carson, second year, battling injuries with a back injury. Kyer playing well, Deron Bland, but we're light. We're light.
Please tell me where Christian Matthews comes into this. Please explain that to me. Please. The man has played 20 games in his whole career. Please explain this to me.
So you have enough guys to practice it? You ever play Madden, right? And you're like playing like franchise or fantasy mode, right? And then you cut some guys, or you might make a trade, right? And they might say, "Hey, in order to start the season, you need to add 2 more people," right?
I get
and
that.
so you go to like free agents, and you start like a 48 overall, and you just put them on the roster.
But we know our corner situation right now is hurting. It's going to be hurting. Why not go out there and get somebody
like a Stephon Gilmore who's just wandering around Frisco? Because the ego. They want to rush Siobhan Revel back. Like they want to say, aha, we beat the NFL. You guys pass on this kid because of his injury. He slid to the 3rd round and he's ready, right? And even though we can all clearly see him kind of limping around out there, jumping around at practice, they're going to force him out there, which is a bad thing to do, right? So I don't know. I don't know, because you have to decide, even if you want to abandon the run defense, y'all, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, right? You have some killers at wide receiver out the gate, bro. And you can't go out there just half-assing it, thinking that, hey, if we don't have the corners to cover, we can get pressure with 4. That's as a recipe for disaster. Now, sometimes it will work, but teams are getting a lot smarter, right? Teams are getting a lot smarter when it comes to scheming that up. So I would go get the corners, but it sounds like, oh yeah, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown on Thanksgiving, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like,
listen, I wasn't saying Christian Matthews is going to be out there starting, but in my mind, I'm just like, why do we do these things when we can go out there and get someone? I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will understand it, how the Dallas Cowboys front office works when it comes to certain things, and it just keeps baffling me every year. I'm like, why do we do the things that we do? Why is it so? It's so repetitive.
Yeah, it is, right? And it's like, and it's that's insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over, getting the same results. It's insanity, and it's just like 30 years, Sid. 30 years, 30 years, and nothing has hit the Cowboys for. Maybe we should try something different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should just outspin the cap and just go crazy in free agency and see what the hell happens. Because what we're doing right now obviously isn't working. But the thing is, a lot of people will say this. It's with our dog Knicks, right? People say the Dallas Cowboys don't want to win, right? They're not focused on winning. They're more focused about branding and this and that, glitz and glamour, right? Where I disagree slightly, which is some of that is true, right? The Dallas Cowboys organization wants to win, but they want to win their way.
You got it.
Instead of getting a Stephon Gilmore and listening to Tuck and Sid and my guy Paul and DMV, and it's bringing in Stephon Gilmore as a proven veteran that would just instantly improve our cornerback room, they want to say, hey, hold on. Can we hit on this Matthews kid? Right? Can we say, aha, we were the smartest and we hit on this Christian Matthews kid and we got a stud? We did it with Brandon Aubrey. Look, we did with Kevontae Turpin. So they like that more than just going and getting a guy. They want to do it the most complicated way versus there's a team in our own division who just won a Super Bowl. We ain't going to do none of that. We're just going to buy a player. You know what I'm saying? We're going to buy a player and bring in someone who's proven. And if you don't rise to the occasion, then we'll just bring another one who's proven and just move on from you. Like it's just simple mathematics, but they don't want to do it, man. But my dog, before I let you go, man, overall, expectations for the season. Vegas Cowboys Nation, if you're watching on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, wherever, they still have us under 8 wins, right? Under 8 wins. So you can win money, real cash, if you think the Cowboys are going to win over 8 games, or just 8 games, actually. You even got to go over. It's 8, it's 7.5, still to today. I just looked, right? So overall, what is your expectation, Sid, for this season?
Realistically, I think we could go out there and get 11 wins.
11, okay.
Realistically. Okay. That's my opinion. That's how I see the schedule. I went and looked at the schedule. if we can do all these great things that the new head coach is trying to do, our defense is trying to implement, run the game, pass the ball when we needed to, have this 4 wide receiver core, defense going out there stopping the run, we can go out there and get those W's that we need. But everything needs to fall in place and everything needs to work.
I
Everybody,
agree. I agree.
and I think we can go out there and get 11 wins.
Okay. Cool. Now, like I said, you're incredible GM because you found me and you also found Rome. What is the one thing that you would do as the GM of the Dallas Cowboys said to put this Dallas Cowboys team in championship contention this year? Yeah, one move. Jerry says, all right, bro. I hear what you're saying. Keep talking. What are you gonna do? What's the move?
Sign Michael.
That's all. He gonna be pissed. He gonna kick you out of the office. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna kick you out of the office, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sign Michael Parsons. Stop all this damn drama. I know you like to be the center of attention. Sign Michael. And everybody's you know what's pissing me off? Everybody's telling him to do it.
Right. Everybody.
CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys Nation, the coaches, everybody's saying just sign the guy. And it pisses me off because one of his interviews, he said, oh, but just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. Bro, that's the business that you're in.
Right.
If you're worried about a player getting injured, sell the team.
Especially when they just signed a player who was off injury lab. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there. My dog said, man, thanks for coming on, man. Pleasure having you back, man. It feels good. All is right in the community when my dog said, man. It's crazy because, like, there's the Cowboys Canada fans. So, like, there's Canada fans out there. They do a great job. I think DMV is going live with them here soon, man. So, but you were the originator out of Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were the original, you and your dog Neville Gallimore and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to see how this community expand, man. But for everyone seeing you for the first time, bro, let everybody know they can find you.
First of all, we're gonna get one of these this year. You see it, right? You see it? You see it right there?
A TV.
Yo, it's a pleasure being on the show. Like always, man. If you want to subscribe, there's gonna be some new stuff coming out. I'm gonna have some guests on my show. Just keep on the lookout. I'll be posting some stuff, letting everybody know when. My Dallas Cowboys is my heart, my family, my pops' team, and rest in peace. But you could definitely find me on Dallas Cowboys, the number 4. You got to put the number 4 life. That's my YouTube. Be sure to click that subscribe.
Yeah, definitely give my dog a follow, man. Like I said, this is my day one brother, man, and one of the first people to believe in me. Like I said, it probably wouldn't be continuing going, sitting and reach out in the chat, man, and invite me on the show, man. So I'm forever indebted to you, and thank you for everything you've done for me, man. And we're gonna definitely do some more content and keep rocking. For those of you seeing me for the first time, I guess JTuck151 on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, YouTube, no, not YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. And then also the YouTube channel CFO Sports. We do a lot of Cowboys content. But like I said, y'all, we got a game kicking off here shortly with my Chargers and also the Detroit Lions. I'm going to be breaking down some of those players. So if you want to get fully updated about what's going on across the NFL, you are in the right spot, man. So for your boy J Tuck and my guy Sid, we want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Football season is finally here. Peace.
Peace.